Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you all. Good to see you all here this morning. We're going to begin with a song, a duo with Amy and Becky. Dona Nobis. I hope I said it right.
You take a microphone.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Nobis pacem, pacem, dona nobis 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 pacem, pacem, dona nobis pacem.
Okay. Thank you, Amy. That was beautiful. What is the translation?
Give us peace.
Give us peace. Okay. Derek and Vic and I are going to play music and sing, and you sing along with whatever, however you can. We're going to sing. What do we start with?
It's about time.
It's about time. I'll let
You
you
should have
find it.
music. If you don't have music, see somebody who does.
And this is a John Denver song. In fact, all three songs we're doing are John Denver. So sing along. If the Spirit moves.
We've heard this one before.
Yes. Now Becky says we look at the music too much and not out at you all. So I don't know these songs a whole lot, so I'm going to be looking. We'll try to look up every now and then, make sure you're still there and you haven't run out the door. Okay. It's about time.
With a capo.
With a capo.
Ready, set?
Ready.
There's a full moon over in town, and Gandhi lives again. Foolish to say you have to lose for someone else to win. In the eyes of all the people, the look is much the same. The first is just the last one. When you play a deadly game, it's about time we realize it. We're all in this together. It's about time we find out. It's all of us or none. It's about time we recognize it. These changes in the weather. It's about time. It's about changes. It's about time. There's a light in the Vatican window for all the world to see. A voice cries in the wilderness, sometimes he speaks for me. I suppose I love him most of all when he kneels to kiss the land. With his lips upon our mother's breast, he makes his strongest stand. It's about time we start to see it. The earth is our only home. It's about time we start to face it. Can't make it here all alone. It's about time we start to listen to the voices in the wind. It's about time, it's about changes, it's about time. There's a man who is my brother, I just don't know his name. but I know it's home and family, 'cause I know we feel the same. And it hurts me when it's hungry and when his children cry. I too am a father, that little one is mine. It's about time we begin it, turn the world around. It's about time we start to make it the dream we've always known. It's about time we start to live it, family of man. It's about time, it's about change, it's about time. It's about peace, it's about plenty, it's about time. It's about you and me together, it's about time.
Nice.
Thank you.
Wrote that.
John?
That's John Denver.
John Denver.
John Denver sang.
We love John Doe.
We wrote it ages ago, and it's still about time.
Right.
Does anyone have anything they'd like to share with us this morning in terms of joys, sorrows, concerns? Yes.
I have two joys. The first one is we had a wonderful fundraiser for Ukraine. One of our new fellowship attendees, Brian, came and helped us. And all total this weekend, we had $800 to give to them. So it was wonderful.
Thank you, Arlen.
And then my other joy is I had a wonderful book launch for my new book in my father's kitchen yesterday, and we sold out. We had 3 rounds of people come, and I'm so blessed with that.
Okay. Anybody else? Yeah, Sally, and then Nick.
Chris and I have a joy that when we weren't here at the last service here, because as founders we were invited to attend the 25th anniversary of the fellowship in Brevard. And Ernie sent a personal message that was wonderful. It was played by video, and so did Reverend Sally Beth Shore. And the mayor of Brevard, Maureen Kopoloff, spoke, and she declared June National Pride Month in Brevard.
Thank you, Sally. Nick?
Something I didn't add to my joy a little while ago that everybody should be aware of is our Spartanburg Regional Hospital was absolutely flawless during this long-term process that we went through, including her doctor. The nurses, the orderlies, everybody. Somebody even, I was looking for some good coffee for my wife. This is after the operation. And, you know, I went downstairs, there was no receptionist, she'd gone to the bathroom. Some guy came up to me, "Can I help you, sir?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm looking for good coffee." And he said, "Well, just follow me." So I don't know whether you realize how big Spartanburg Regional Hospital is. Huge. So he walks me and walks me and walks me all the way around, and this little guy comes by in a cart. He said, "You guys need a ride?" I said, this gentleman said, "No, we're almost there, but you can come out in front of the cancer center," which is where this coffee shop was, "and pick this gentleman up and give him a ride all the way back to where he was. Just give him 10 minutes. So he and I, this gentleman, walk in. I said, "Can I buy you coffee?" "No, I'm fine." Buy 2 cups of coffee, go out the door, and there's this guy in a little cart scooting me all the way back to the front door. In I went. It was great coffee. But I just can't say enough for all the nurses, and you know, you think of the old school ways we all grew up with that bedside manner. Well, I call it soup to nuts. We had it 10 times over. Just true. Spartanburg Regional was great. Thank you.
Yes, Larry.
Tracy and I have a joy. We got a phone call this morning, and her daughter, while she was on a trip to Switzerland on top of the mountain hiking, got engaged.
I was hoping you were going to talk about she gave birth to her first.
That was good.
She could.
That'll be next year.
Yeah.
Anyone else have a, yes?
I highly recommend June to be engaged because Jerry and I will be celebrating our 54th anniversary in the month of June.
Yes, Andy.
Well, I'm about to be off to enjoy my granddaughter's wedding in Oxford, England.
Oh, nice.
Very excited about it.
Oh, that's great.
Sally again.
One more joy I forgot. Chris celebrated his birthday last week.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chris. Happy birthday to you. All right, any other joys, sorrows? Lisa?
This is not necessarily a joy or a sorrow, but it's a concern. Tuesday was the South Carolina primary day, and I was a poll supervisor that day. Please encourage everyone you know to vote in November, because the things that I heard are scary.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha. Let's pause for a moment of silence. Do you have your reading, your handout? Do you all have that? Can you read along with me? I know we forgot the chalice lighting reading, but let's do the joys of sorrows together. We rejoice together and we grieve together as one. Help us to remember that every human heart holds its own joys and sorrows. Let's continue our service with our offerings. And we're going to play another John Denver song for you. The name of this song is, what is it, Becky?
Some days are dying.
Some Days Are Dying. Okay.
I don't know all of Ernie's message today, but he mentioned snakes and how fortunate and unfortunate some things are. So I thought this might fit it a little bit. Besides having the word diamond in it, right?
Yes.
And they're diamondback.
And by the way, happy Father's Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you ask how I've been here without you, I like to say I've been fine, and I do. But we both know the truth is hard to come by. If I told the truth, that's not quite true. Some days are diamonds, some days are stone. Sometimes a hard time won't leave me alone. Sometimes a cold wind blows a chill in my bones. Some days are diamonds, some days are stone. Now a face that I see in my mirror, more and more is a stranger to me. More and more I can see there's danger in becoming what I never thought I'd be. Some days are diamonds, some days are stone. Sometimes a hard time won't leave me alone. Sometimes a cold wind blows a chill in my bones. are diamonds, some days are stone. One more time. Some days are diamonds, some days are stone. Sometimes the hard times won't leave me alone. The hot cold wind blows a chill in my bones. Some days are diamonds, some days are stone.
Yeah.
Thank you. Does anyone see my grandson out there?
Yeah, he's
Yes.
pretty.
I just saw him go swimming by.
Now, David, give me a heart attack. All right, I
He's on
see him
what?
out there,
Yeah,
okay.
he's close by.
He's not down at the river.
No.
He's waving. Let's see. If I was to create a modern-day Bible that was appropriate for the world we're living in, I would include this reading from Albert Einstein as one of the Gospels. So I call it Gospel according to Albert Einstein, and I'm going to read it to you. And then I'm going to stop as I read. I don't like doing that, but I just want you to catch the real flavor of this reading from Einstein. So here we go. The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. But I believe the mystery always has a dark side because it's the unknown. So as much as we say we like mystery, I think there's a part of us that does not really like mystery. It's scary. The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all true art and science. He to whom this emotion, we typically think of mystery as something in the head, but there's a feeling component to mystery. There's an emotional component to embracing a mystery. He to whom this emotion is a stranger who can no longer pause to wonder and stand wrapped in awe. Now that is a word we'll talk about a little bit in a moment. Awe. A-W-E. Wrapped in awe is as good as dead. His eyes are closed. This insight into the mystery of life, coupled though it be with fear. We tend to criticize sometimes what we call fear-based religions. But there is a place for fear in our faith. There's a place for fear in our faith. There's a place for the unknown in our faith. There's a place for what we are not certain about in our faith. Coupled though it be with fear, has also given rise to religions. To know that what is impenetrable to us really exists, manifesting itself as the highest wisdom and the most radiant beauty, which our dull faculties can comprehend only in their most primitive forms. This knowledge, this feeling is at the center of true religiousness. In this sense, and in this sense only, I belong to the ranks of devoutly religious men. So, I mean, there's a lot in that, those few words, that sum up, to me, the very kernel of what spirituality and religion is all about. Now, I said I was going to say some things about the word awe. Awe incorporates both the awesome and the awful And awe is what gave rise to the word sacred. And sacred includes not only what is the light, but also the dark, the unknown, the mysterious. And in my opinion, a mature faith is a faith that can embrace both the awesome of life, the terrifying of life. Life is awesome, life is awful. Some days are diamonds, some days are stone. There are good times, there are painful times, there are hard times. And again, in my opinion, a mature individual does not just simply embrace the light side of life, but also can acknowledge and embrace the tragic side of life. Because sometimes tragedy can wake us up. And tragedy can become a breakthrough. Now, I'm going to jump over. I'm going to jump. When I saw that rattlesnake, because the title of my sermon was Numinous Experience I had of my close encounter with a timber rattlesnake in the Pisgah National Forest. You know, I had a dream last night that I was doing what I'm doing now. And I said to the congregation, raise your hand if you can remember a snake experience you've had. Raise your hand if you've had an experience encounter with a venomous serpent. Whoa, okay. Now, I bet you could probably, Dick, you could probably tell me where that happened and when it happened, right? Because those kinds of experiences, when you have those kinds of encounters with something that's deadly, you tend to never forget those, you know, because it makes such a deep impression on you. Well, I'm with my wife and my 3 daughters in the forest, Pisgah Forest, back when they were, when they were just little girls. And we always walked behind the fish hatchery to go up to some waterfalls up in there. I can't think of the name of them right now, but I always like to look at what they throw away in their dump, because sometimes they throw away good stuff. So I tell my family, I tell them, y'all wait here, I'm going to look in the dump real quick, see if there's anything of value back there. I'm a dumpster diver, by the way. I do a lot of dumpster. I built a house, a cabin out of dumpster stuff. Anyway, I go back there and there's these barrels, and I jump up on these barrels, and I'm walking around these barrels, and I look down, there's a wooden pallet, and I'm going to jump on that pallet. Well, the minute I jumped on that pallet, I heard that rattle. And I think back, now I think, I'm glad that pallet wasn't rotten. But anyway, the moment I heard that rattle, I just automatically jumped off. You know the whole thing of fight or fright. I wasn't gonna, or freeze. You know, I didn't freeze. I didn't fight. The flight. I jumped off on this bank. But the thing about it was, I wanted to see that rattlesnake. He was still under the pallet, you know, doing his or her thing. And so I found this long pipe. It was about 15 feet long or something. And I stood back and I lifted that pallet, and out came that snake. And I wanted my family to stay in the distance, but to, if they could, to see this thing, you know, to see this timber rattlesnake. I mean, it had the meanest look on his face. But you know, I kept thinking about that experience, and it was a strange experience. The more I thought about it, my wife said I yelled, I screamed when I jumped. I said, no, I didn't. She said, yes, you did, you screamed. No, I didn't scream.
You did.
So I thought to myself, well, if I didn't scream,
Who did?
and I didn't consciously scream, then who was screaming? What was screaming? You know, it was one of those just gut reactions where you don't think, you just move. You know, you move. And there's a lot going on in that moment of panic. You know, my heart was beating rapidly. My blood pressure was going up. I was panting. I wasn't really breathing. I was panting. All those, let alone all the chemical stuff that was going on inside of me. It took me a while to think about that experience, to think that, you know, that was a numinous experience. Now, numinous is just a fancy word for mysterious. It was one of those experiences where you encounter something that that causes you fear and dread and maybe panic, but at the same time, you're kind of fascinated with it. Now, Rudolf Otto wrote a book called The Idea of the Holy. I would recommend it to you if you ever want to read it, because he said the concept of holy goes back in history to our primitive ancestors of this very kind of experience of life that incorporates both this terror of life, but also this kind of fascination with it. And that's why we go back in time, to ancient times, our ancestors worshipped serpents, because serpents represented both that power to heal, that power to bring life, but also the power to take life. They also represented the power of shedding the skin, of being born again. And many of you, if you know your Old Testament, your Hebrew Bible, you know that there's an episode in which the people complain about the food. They're in the wilderness. They've left slavery. They're in the wilderness. They start to complain about the food. They don't like the food. Well, this makes God angry, so he sends poisonous serpents to bite them. And then they repent. And then God says to Moses, okay, make a bronze serpent, poisonous serpent. I don't know how you make a poisonous serpent, but make a poisonous serpent made out of bronze, put it up on a pole, and hold it up, raise it up. And when the people are bitten and they look at that serpent, they'll be healed. So the serpent, symbolic of the power not only to strike and kill, but the symbolic of the power to heal. The power to heal. And that, as you most of you probably know, is the emblem of modern medicine. Is the codices, is that what they're called?
Caduceus. Caduceus.
Caduceus, the two serpents entwined around the pole. Now, the really mysterious thing, I think, is in the Gospel according to John, where Jesus says, well, just like Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, I'll be lifted up. So, you know, there's a comparison there. But our ancestors had a whole different relationship to that world that was awe-inspiring in terms of awful, terrible, tragic. Not just the awesome side. To me, a mature faith is a faith that can embrace that it can embrace the tragedy of life, the frightful, terrible aspects of life. I like singing that song, Keep on the Sunny Side, Always on the Sunny Side. Y'all know that song? But I have a sort of a policy that every time we sing Keep on the Sunny Side of Life, we ought to sing Hello Darkness, My Old Friend. Life cannot be sunny all the time. And I've told you all about this saying from China, nothing but sunshine creates a desert. And we humans, as we have evolved, have in a sense become much more fragile than our ancestors. We want all the light We want all the sunny side of life. Unable to accept that life is tragic. Life is sometimes deadly. But to embrace that, and to embrace the uncertainty in life, to embrace the mystery. I mean, truly embrace the mystery. You know, I think that there's such a deep desire in us to know. We want to know everything. Mm-hmm. Knowledge is what we're after. Mm-hmm. Knowledge is what most of us went to school for. So, to me, to embrace that not knowing is a difficult thing to do. But my question to you, and I'm going to close with this question to you: where is your all space? Where do you find that awe in your life that is both awesome and awful? And to be able to embrace that, and even if you're a person who believes in God, to say that maybe God is breaking through in that awfulness. You know, I love that story of Moses. That's a Numinous story. Moses, you all know the story of Moses in the burning bush. He sees the bush burning. He says, I must turn aside to look at this awesome thing. But then by the time he realizes it's a manifestation of, it's an epiphany of this divine being, he's afraid. Read it. So he goes from this fascination with this dangerous object to this realization of this could kill me. This is deadly. You know, and I think we've kind of whitewashed our religions today. You know, we want everything to be on the right side, the good side, the sunny side. And I'll quit with this, but you know, I think it's tragic today that most people define evil on the basis of the hedonistic principle. You know what I mean by that? If it causes me pain, or if it causes our nation pain, it must be evil. If it brings me pleasure, if it brings our nation pleasure, it must be good. You know, I think that's a profound mistake determining what is good and what is evil. What is really good for us, what is not good for us, you know. Anyway, my question to you is where is your all place? Where do you experience, and have you experienced that awesome and that awful aspect of living, the uncertainty, the mystery? Thank you. Now we're going to close with another John Denver song. And this one is called what? Matthew.
It's Father's Day, as you know, and Becky and I'd like to try to match, when we can, match the song to what's happening. In this case, that's why we say when some days are diamonds. Father's Day is hard to find a song for, but we did find an uncle song.
That's close.
There's Father's Day too, so that's our best attempt to celebrate Father's Day.
Yeah, and the uncle refers to fun on his father's shoulders.
Ryan's out there sleeping on the slide.
Yeah, sing along if you want.
Sing along.
Had an uncle named Matthew, was his father's only boy. Born just south of Kelby, Kansas, was his mother's pride and joy. Yes, and joy was just a thing that he was raised on. Love was just a way to live and die. Gold was just a wind in Kansas we flew. Blue was just a Kansas summer's time. All the stories that he told me back when I was just a lad, all the memories that he gave me, all the good times times that you had. Growing up in Kansas, my boy, life was mostly having fun. Riding on his daddy's shoulders, behind the view beneath the sun. Yes, and joy was just a thing that he was raised on. Love was just a way to live and die. Gold was just a windy Kansas we knew. Blue was just a Kansas summer sky. Yes, I guess there were some hard times, and I'm told some years were lean. They had a storm in 47. Twister came and stripped them clean. He lost the farm and lost his family. Lost the wheat and he lost his home. But he found the family Bible. They made the solids and the stone. Yes, and joy was just a thing that he was raised on. Love was just a way to live and die. Gold was just a empty Kansas we flew. Blue just a Kansas summer sky. So we came to live at our house. Then he came to work the land. Came to ease my daddy's burden. And came to be my friend. So I wrote this down for Matthew. It's for him this song is sung. Riding on his daddy's shoulders, behind the blue beneath the sun. Yes, and joy was just a thing that he was raised on. Love was just a way to live and die. Gold was just a windy Kansas wheat field. Blue was just a Kansas summer sky. One more. Joy was just a thing that he was raised on. Love was just a way to live and die. Gold was just a windy Kansas sweet blue. Blue just a Kansas summer sky.
Thank you. Now, Becky, if you would cut the battery off on that candle.
Low.
Night.
Join with me, please. Join with me, please. We extinguish this flaming chalice. Let us follow the light of truth until we meet again. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Stay for the board meeting and picnic.
Happy Father's Day.
Lisa, you want to take over?
Okay.